Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. So last Monday we were talking about the fear of regretting your decision to get dentures. Like it's a permanent thing. You're not gonna go back and change things. Once it's done, and that can be kind of terrifying. So today we're going to talk about what it feels like to have regrets after it's already been done and there is no going back. And today's video is sponsored by Ivoclar Vivadent. For those of you who do not know who Ivoclar is, they are a dental manufacturing company that produce a lot of products and technology that dental professionals use to treat patients like you and me. They're also very big on patient education, and so I'm thankful that they've decided to sponsor a lot of my content here. If you want to learn more about their company, make sure that you go to their link below in the description box. It's www.morethanAdenture.com. Okay, I gotta get comfy for this one because this is a thing, okay? Because I see this a lot. People get their teeth pulled, they get dentures, and then they're like, oh my God, what have I done? And so, like, to an extent, I had my moment just like that, where I had this initial freak out, like, what have I done? I can't go back now. I can't change it. But the thing is, I didn't dwell on that very long at all. Immediately after getting my dentures, we've all established that I was very, very swollen. I looked crazy. It was very dramatic. My face was really huge. And so I chalked that up to, this is just what it's going to be for a minute. I went to the emergency room. They told me that it wasn't a big deal. You just had all of your teeth pulled. There's going to be some swelling. Sometimes it's very severe. And so after they kind of like eased my anxiety over the whole thing, I thought, okay, once the swelling goes down, once that's taken care of, then I'll start to settle into a new normal feeling. So once most of that swelling went down, this is what I was working with.
I look like a joke. My jaws are still swollen, like really bad. I have serious beef with my upper teeth. They don't look natural. I mean, the teeth themselves, that's about the size of my normal teeth. My problem is that for when there's an overbite, I would have to bring my bottom teeth out like this for them to look straight. There's not a good bite there. In my opinion, here's the problem. There's too much gum action. I couldn't even show you, but all of it is too much. There's too much in my mouth. That's about as much as I can open my mouth. I can't fit food in my mouth to chew. I can't put a spoon in there or anything. And I'm talking funny because there's just so much in my mouth. There's not enough room for me to move my tongue in my mouth. It's insane. I'm going back to the dentist on Monday. He says that he's gonna reline them, whatever the hell that's supposed to mean. And he doesn't know if it's gonna fix that. Might have to make an entire new upper set.
But yeah, I forgot that I recorded this video. It was something that never ended up on YouTube until recently, within the past few months. It's crazy looking back on that because it's been like 11 years now. So it's way behind me. But I now, after seeing that video, remember where my head was at when I shot this video. I remember that panic that set in where it was like, okay, I'm not really in pain or anything. Like, I'm on the road to healing, but I don't feel like I'm looking much better. In fact, like, this looks pretty crazy, and I can't imagine how in the world I'm supposed to eat like this. How am I supposed, like, I can't even open my mouth. I can't fit a spoon in there. Like, it was just so loaded with plastic that I couldn't imagine how that could possibly ever change. Didn't know how that could be corrected. And then on top of that, I mean, look at my face. Look how I looked. Look at the teeth. They're all wonky and out of place. They're bucked forward. It was just, the whole situation had me panicking and freaking out, thinking, how are you going to fix this? How are you going to make this better? But the thing is, I remembered my dentist warning me about all of this, and I was having none of it. When it comes to being in these online communities, there's a lot of benefit to it. When you're on the Facebook groups and the denture forums and denture communities, and you follow other people like me or other popular YouTubers or TikTokers that talk about their experience with losing their teeth and becoming a denture wearer and getting implants, it's easy for us to assume that that's the way it's gonna go for us. And even myself, like, I look now at pictures that people post post-operation, post-surgery of their smiles, and I think, where's the swelling? Like, where's the cracked, dry lips? Why are you in full makeup and you look amazing? Like, what is this? Why did I look so crazy? How does it look so good on you? But I remember I looked nothing like that. And it took a minute before I felt okay with the way that I looked. But they're coming back, posting pictures on day 3, and everything looks amazing. And it's easy for us to lose sight of our own journey and our own unique progress in everything that has taken place, and compare ourselves to what other people's journeys look like. And that can be very, very discouraging. But I'm telling you now, some people luck up. They luck up and it fits pretty good and they look pretty good, and it is what it is. And then there's others like us who don't have as good of a transition, where it's very swollen, it's very uncomfortable, it's very challenging eating, it's very difficult talking, and it's hard to imagine how something like that can be corrected. But when it comes to especially immediate dentures, especially when you're going in and you're getting extractions and then you're leaving with teeth in your mouth, you're going to have some kind of challenges. You're going to have your moment of seeing yourself without teeth for the first time, and the shock that comes with that. I don't care how many people you saw on TikTok without their teeth in their mouth. When you see yourself in the mirror without teeth for the first time, it's going to give you some kind of reaction. Maybe you'll think it's funny. Maybe you'll be terrified. Maybe you'll cry. Like, I was overwhelmed with how I looked, and I never fully accepted it. Like, even now, even when I go to the dentist now and I get my teeth taken out and get them cleaned and stuff like that, I'm not just like eager to see myself in the mirror without teeth or speak to somebody without teeth in my mouth. And that's just me. That's my personal way of dealing with things. And it's just, it's something that's always been kind of hard for me. Talking for the first time is going to be interesting. It's going to be challenging. You're going to have issues speaking and pronouncing things at first. Eating is not going to be enjoyable. You're going to be trying to modify your diet to relearn how to eat your food. You're probably going to be dealing with some soreness after the extractions. And because of the changing environment in your mouth, with things, with swelling present and then swelling going away and then bone shrinkage and things like that, you're probably not going to be entirely happy with the way that they look initially. You're going to look at yourself and you're going to think, I look different. I want to look like myself again. Even if what you looked like before was what I looked like, broken and decayed teeth. That's what I had before, but it was something I was familiar with when I looked in the mirror. And so looking at myself in the mirror with this new arrangement, these new foreign teeth that are not at all like I thought they were going to be. I didn't expect that I would look that way. I didn't expect that I would feel that way. I had my little moment of, did I make the right decision? But the thing is, how long could I dwell on that? How long could I feel bad about it, knowing that it is permanent and I can't go back and I can't change anything? And so what I'll have to do is I'll have to find a way to adapt to this. I will have to find a way to come to terms with this. I'll have to learn how to speak properly. I'll have to learn how to eat properly. And if this is the way my face looks forever, then that's just something that I'm going to have to get used to. And I'm telling you, at my 2-week appointment, when I got my first reline and I looked in the mirror after that, I was like, wow, that is like magical. How did you do that? How did you fix all of that? Not only the way that I looked, but the way that I was able to eat after that, because they were able to push the teeth further up in my mouth and back in my mouth to where there was a lot more room to chew and eat. And so I started to begin my process of adapting and getting used to them and being pretty content with the way that I looked with them. And I found that over the course of those first several months, I got more and more used to them. I think that if you go back into my videos, if you go to my channel and you go to my videos, click the tab that says videos and you sort it by oldest to newest, and you start with that very first video and you kind of work your way through there, you'll see that I start to look different. I start to sound different. My confidence kind of changes. I start coming into accepting who I was as a denture wearer. And that's something that takes time, it takes practice, and it takes patience. So I don't want you to get discouraged if you have that moment of freaking out when you see yourself in the mirror. seeing yourself without teeth, your first time trying to get your dentures out, you know, with adhesive in there. Like, all of the new experiences that you're going to have can sometimes be a little bit overwhelming, and it's easy to lose sight of the long-term goal and what you've just come from. It's when you let those little setbacks overwhelm you that you tend to stop and give up and think, you know, because I can't imagine it getting better from this point forward, I'm not going to try anymore. And then you don't practice eating and improving your diet. You don't practice speaking and improving your speech. You don't practice, you know, doing new hairstyles and new makeup and, like, you know, putting yourself in new social situations that you might have avoided previously. You sort of settle for the idea that this is different, and because it's different, it's hard. And because it's hard, I can't make any progress and I'm not happy. And then you just let the regret and grief overwhelm you. Take things slowly. Just because you have this little setback doesn't mean it's thrown your whole journey off course. It hasn't. Try not to compare your progress to somebody else's. I mean, I know that it's super beneficial to be able to communicate with other people who have gone through what you've gone through, but the thing is, all of our journeys look different. What led us here is different. There might be a lot of common ground that we share, but when you start looking at individual details of a person's healing and their progress and how they're adapting to their dentures, it could discourage you because your journey might look entirely different from theirs. And that's completely normal. You're still on track. So as I adapted, as I accepted things and relearned how to do things, I started to feel absolutely empowered by the fact that I had dentures. And even right up until the day that I got my implants, the day that I got my all-on-4 implants, the exception of a few setbacks from having loose-fitting dentures, my journey with dentures was pretty positive. And it wasn't because I had, like, you know, the most expensive looking teeth. I mean, they're nice, but, you know, this is a $2,500 set of teeth that I used to replace, where are they at? Just had them. That I used to replace these. And, you know, really look at these. Like, it's hard to really see them in the camera, but, like, you can see that whole tooth, man. You know what I mean? Like, it was fine. I was fine with these. I was very happy with this cheap set of dentures. And then I was happy with this set of dentures, which was more aesthetic and a little bit more expensive, but still, you know, nothing fancy. Not like this one that Ivoclar sent me, this digital denture that they do now, where, you know, the gum line is all molded and contoured and you've got these little, like, fibers in there to make the tissue look like it's alive. I mean, I didn't have anything like that. And, you know, I was happy with all of it because, you know, it gave me my life back. I wasn't in pain anymore, and therefore I wasn't, like, on edge all the time, snapping at people, just wanting to go home and relax, because everything's overwhelming when you're walking around with a throbbing mouth all day and abscesses and stuff. Like, the pros of having dentures for me far outweighed the cons, and I didn't dwell on those moments of uncertainty. I didn't dwell on those challenges that would arise. I would just try to stay very factual and look for solutions and just continue to practice, adapt, and grow. And so that's how I was able to get over my whole regretting getting dentures. What have I done to myself? These things look crazy. Share your experience. Are you in the middle of that right now? Are you in the middle of a period of just hating your dentures, hating the way that you look? How far into your journey are you? Are you one of those that did at one point regret it, but then now you've adapted? How were you able to overcome that overwhelming voice in your head that tells you you messed up and you can't fix it now? Please share that below, because that is something that a lot of people really need help overcoming. And so I feel like sharing our experiences and how we were able to do it will help prepare people for the day that they might regret getting their dentures and how they can overcome that. Next week's video is going to be Good Notes. Go to my content calendar on Good Notes. Next week's video is going to be surviving the first few weeks of dentures. I'm going to prepare you guys, because can't say nobody prepared me. My dentist told me everything to expect, and I was just like, Okay, whatever. So you definitely don't want to miss that video. Make sure that you subscribe to my channel, hit the bell notification so that you get the alerts if it pops up and you're not in a position to watch it. Guess what you can do? You can save it to a watch later list, and you can watch it later when you're trying to go to bed at 12:30 at night, but you finally have a moment to yourself and your kids are asleep, and this is the only peace you can find in the day, because same. You can follow me elsewhere online. All of my social links are in the description box below, and I will see you guys again next time, and y'all take care.